What is up guys, welcome to KaiCreative and another filmmaking video. My name is Kai Song. I'm a filmmaker, animator, YouTuber, videographer and editor living and working in London in the UK, the cultural melting pot of the world. And today we are talking about the ideal picture settings for your DSLR camera when it comes to filmmaking. We're building a filmmaking library here on KaiCreative, so if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe, check out our other awesome videos, and share your thoughts on what you want to see in the future down in the comment section below. This really helps to guide the content that we produce, and you get more of what you want to see. So I've been filming weddings now for over 6 years and have been filming corporate videos and event videos both locally in the UK and internationally for the last 3 years. Now I normally use a 2-camera setup, which are usually Canon cameras, and have been asked by a number of different people what picture settings I use when it comes to filming video on my DSLR cameras, particularly for corporate events and interviews. So that is what we're going to cover today. So we're going to be talking about the settings from the Canon Camera series that I use, including crop frame cameras, which are the 550D and the 600D, as well as full frame Canon cameras, including the 6D, the 5D Mark III, and the Canon 5D Mark IV. Now, one of the issues with the default Canon camera picture settings is that they tend to look overly contrasted and overly sharp. And this is because Canon adds in extra sharpness and extra contrast to your image. So what I do to correct this, and what you'll find most DSLR filmmakers also do, is to modify their picture settings. So let's go straight to the Canon menu for picture settings and modify these values. So first of all, take the sharpness right down to 0, as well as the contrast, we also take that right down to 0, and our saturation we take down to 1. Then we leave the tone as it is. And it's as simple as that. Here we have some before and after examples. Here we can see that our image is slightly contrasted and overly sharp. Now, once this has been filmed, there is not too much that we can do in post-production to fix it. And this is the key point. You might like that overly contrasted, overly sharp look. It was quite popular a few years ago, but we can't do very much with it in post-production once it's been filmed. However, by using our new picture settings, where we take the sharpness and the contrast right down, we now have a much flatter image, which is easier to correct or change in post-production. Now, if I find later that my video is slightly too soft, I can always use the Unsharp Mask option in Premiere Pro to add small amounts of sharpness back into the video. This is sharpness that I control, and it wouldn't be added to the complete picture. In the past, I've used this effect, Unsharp Mask, in interview footage. This really helps to add sharpness around the face, particularly people's eyes, which is what we're drawn to the most. Now, this isn't to say that you always have to use these picture settings. As an example, I used a custom version of the faithful Canon picture settings for my documentary Memories of Dunoon, link in the description below. I felt that this picture style really suited the colors of the natural landscape and the general feel of what I wanted for the video. Conversely, you might want to bump up the sharpness and the contrast options in your camera to create a surreal effect. When it comes to things like color correction and color grading, these are generally a personal preference, particularly color grading. And what looks good to one person might be absolutely horrible to someone else. But if we stick to these basic camera settings, we have more room to work with when it comes to fixing or grading our footage in post. So that's today's lesson on my preferred camera picture settings when it comes to using DSLR cameras in filmmaking, especially when it comes to the corporate videos that I produce. So what camera settings do you use? Do you change them up depending on the project? If so, let me know in the comment section down below. Additionally, if there are any filmmaking videos that you would like to see in the future, again, hit me up in the comment section down below. As always, I'll like this video if you found it valuable, share it with someone who might find it useful, keep on imagining, implementing, and inspiring, and I'll see you guys next time on KaiCreative.